Alright, Marty Ware from Marty's Garden. I'm back, and I spoke about the last video how I got overwhelmed with everything in the garden, having too big a space, got too busy, too much going on, couldn't take care of it all, and radical weather changes, life changes in family and things like that, and all of a sudden I spread myself too wide and I couldn't keep up with it all, and I walked away from it. It was too overwhelming. Now, I don't want you to do that. So if you haven't watched that video, make sure you go back and check that out. It's just a bit of advice for you to keep you on track. Now, a few months ago, probably four months ago now, or something like that, Mark from Self-Sufficient Me come here and helped me make these beds. Now, he told me not to tell everyone, but he actually bought these for me. And God bless you, Mark, for doing that. And I haven't had the income to fill them all up or to take care of them as much as what I would have liked to. But I'm understanding that it's more about the journey. I just forgot that for a little while. It's not about having to have everything now. We're living in so much of a society where we just need it now. We get it on the phone, we get it now. Hey mate, you got that now? Bring it round for me, will you? I want to order that. Yeah, will that be in tomorrow? You know, we're moving so fast, so quickly, everything, and including myself. And these garden beds, I need to understand that they are a process in the making, and they have given me a lot of food, so pretty happy with that. They saved me through a few months of very low income coming in, and we were eating, a lot of our food was coming out of here, and actually saved us, to be honest. And it might sound a bit, I don't know if it's rhetorical, that's probably not the word, but it actually did, because I want to tell you anyway, let's not get into that. Let's have a look at these garden beds down here, and I'll talk about what's going on. So we filled them up with like mulch and sugarcane bales, and they got right up at the top, and we knew they were going to sink. I didn't know how far. My guess was about halfway in about 6 months. Now, I've come up with a really good idea. And I'm going to build out again slowly and understand that, yeah, this is just the journey of getting these done. And as long as I'm producing food out of them, then all that matters. And eventually in time, they'll become really good systems. So I've actually planted avocado trees in them, because I've got this heavy clay soil here, and they can't grow in this soil. They get phytophthora and it kills them and stuff. So you got to raise them right up with a lot of drainage. And I put some avos in here, and they're going to spread over these beds, and then I'll put parsley, and I'll put betel leaf underneath, and different plants, and then I'll spill tomatoes over the edges and things, and then grow vines up. So very permaculture, like, you know, little passion fruit vine up one end, and I'll raise up sides and things like that, and without saying what I did before, overextending myself, just slowly moving out and understanding, hey, this is the journey. You've got some fruit trees in, you know, so you've got, you know, your citruses in, you know you're going to have fruit in a while. You got some papayas in, you know you're going to have papayas in a while. And, you know, I've been planting some other stuff sort of here and there, some macadamia and some bush foods and things like that. So I know that I've got perennial food coming on in the future. So I was just getting overwhelmed. Look, I've even got bananas in, and I forgot to tell you that. So there is a bit happening, but I went back into putting the perennials in because I just didn't have the time, and I knew that they would grow and eventually produce food for me. But now we're moving into autumn, it's getting cooler, I'm getting ready to plant leafy greens into here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the camera, and we're going to have a look at the far garden bed, and I'll show you what I'm doing to get the next stage going, to build them up, because they've dropped down. So you'd be thinking, what are you doing here, Marty? What's next? What's your really cool idea? Well, I've got some more bales. I had some old ones around the side of the house near the worm farms, and they've got a few worms in them and things like that, and they've aged quite a lot. And I've put them on top of the garden beds, which has dropped about 1/3 of the way down. And it's actually, they come up a bit higher above the level. And then I've covered them with heaps of old mushroom compost that was sitting around the outside of the worm farms, aging nicely. and I've covered them in microgreens. So I've got radish, I put some basil in here, they haven't come up yet, and I've got like brassicas. So the brassica family, I've just spread them through here, and I can come through and I can grab microgreens like this. Purple Sengo radish. Start putting it into salads. The next stage is I'm going to put some lettuce seedlings in here. Then I'll come through and I'll start, that's spicy, I like that. Then I'll put some lettuce in here as well and start growing out of there, because I know it's going to cool down soon. Now, if I don't succeed on the first lettuce planting and it gets hot all of a sudden and they bolt or something, I'm not going to worry about it. It's about $4 for a 100 lettuce, so you know I'll probably get my $4 worth. But if all goes well, I will keep planting it out. I'm going to remove some of the plants out of here, such as the big lemongrass, things, extend it that way, and I'll probably, you know, release small compost worms in here, because I'll get into all these old bales and stuff like that, start filling it up. Now you could do the same with just different mulches and things like that, but I like these sugarcane bales. They cost me about $10 a bale. Let them age a bit, they break down, turn into a really good humus. Worms love them, all the microbes love them, the fungi loves them, and they end up growing really, really great food. And I'm going to grow a big papaya at the end to shade out one of these areas, because in the summer this just gets too hot, and unless I put poles over the top with shade cloth and things like that, it's not going to work. But I really don't want to do that. I don't want to be spending any more money, and I don't need as much food unless I'm going to be farming again, doing it like that. I'll be producing way more food than I can even eat, which is a good thing, because then you can give it away. But I'm looking at ways that I can actually manage this garden, not get things out of control, and then not walk away from it, and just let all that hard work go to waste. So yep, finish up. I've put the bales in here, covered them with compost. I'm going to be planting into them again. I've put some little strawberries in here. I'll put some herbs and different things in here and build this way and keep going. Then eventually I'll just keep going that way, which is, you know, I'm in no rush. You need to slow down. I need to slow down. I understand that. I've just been getting overwhelmed. Too much gardening going on. But other than that, that's my concept. And I've got to cut back a lot of grass, because the grasshoppers are out of control.